Hello and welcome to a brand new vlog. Before we begin, let me give you a quick backstory. You see, for me and my family, Dubai has always been a special place. My dad arrived in Dubai in the early 70s along with his many brothers and relatives. And a few years later, he got married and brought my mom there too. Then soon after that, they had my sister who finished her entire schooling in Dubai. Then somewhere in the mid-80s, I came along. Dubai is my birthplace. As a family, we created countless memories there. In fact, some of my oldest and fondest memories were made in Dubai. But when I was 11, we had to move back to India. And fast forward to 2018, we visited Dubai again, this time with new additions to the family. And by some weird cosmic intervention, just a few months after that, Smriti and I got the chance to relocate to Dubai. And boy, did we have a good time. But as fate would have it, our luck ran out a year later, and we had to move back to India again. And cut to a few years later, when Ayaan was born, we made a promise to ourselves to bring him to Dubai when he was old enough to form memories of his own. And this year, when he turned 4, we knew it was time.
المحطة الأخيرة لهذا القطار هي المحطة القادمة هي برج خليفة دبي مول. The next station is Burj Khalifa Dubai Mall.
Habibi, come to Dubai.
So, I'm going to do this vlog a little differently. You're going to hear more of me and see a lot less of me. In fact, I'm not even sure I appear on camera at all. Hopefully this means you will actually watch the whole video and not just skip ahead every time I start talking. Can you imagine? Even my own family does that. Anyway, so no more talking head. Now all you need to do is tolerate my voice. Happy? What you're seeing right now is day 1 of our Dubai trip. We caught the red eye from Bengaluru and landed at DXP early morning on December 16th, checked into a hotel apartment in Dubai, dropped our bags and headed straight out. We thought why not start on an auspicious note, so we walked over to the Shri Krishna temple, managed to offer our prayers just before closing time. And from there we took the iconic 1 dirham ferry across to Dhow. This was Ayaan's first boat ride ever, which obviously meant he had a lot of questions. And this is also me foolishly attempting to do a talking head intro right before deciding I wasn't doing that anymore. We then took a quick walk through Gold Souq and Spice Souq, places we have visited more times than we can count. And on our way back, we grabbed lunch at Sharona Bhavan, followed by a much needed power nap back at the hotel. So here's a quick tour of our hotel apartment. This is the washroom, pretty decent size. There's some luggage space here, and inside the cupboard you have got a safe, an ironing board, an iron, and all your basic toiletries. And when you come here, you have a mini kitchenette. It comes equipped with an electric stove, microwave, a mini fridge, and even a washing machine. There's also some crockery and utensils just in case anyone's feeling adventurous and wants to cook. Over here, there's a sofa bed, 2 very small TVs, and a compact island-style dining table. And then when you come here, this is the bedroom, which is basically the studio apartment neatly split by a partition. It has a comfortable double bed, and overall it's a small but cozy space. This is obviously a newly renovated property, which honestly makes a big difference. It's much cleaner than some of the other hotel apartments in the area. And we know because, we have stayed in a few of those in the past. And the view outside is just more apartments. All things considered, I think it's a small trade-off. It's 7 in the evening, obviously it's dark outside and we are just heading out. We then hopped onto Dubai Metro from Burj station and headed straight to Dubai Mall. The mall was all decked up for Christmas, but surprisingly it was not as crowded as we remembered it to be, especially for a weekend. We then stopped to take in the views of the Dubai Aquarium from the popular viewing spot outside. And that's when, we were spotted by one of Smriti's oldest family friends, which was quite awkward because we hadn't told anyone that we were coming to Dubai. After some quick catching up, we all made our way to the Dubai fountain. And there it was, lo and behold, the Burj Khalifa. Something you just never get tired of seeing, no matter how many times you have seen it before. We had already done at the top back in 2018 with my family, so this time we decided to just enjoy the view from below. After the fountain show, we said our goodbyes, headed back to the hotel, ordered in some dinner and called it a night. We started day 2 bright and early, taking the hotel's complimentary shuttle to Burj metro station. After a quick breakfast, we boarded the metro from Burj to Union Station, interchanged from the red line to the green line and headed to our destination, Dubai Healthcare City. From there, Creek Park was just about a kilometer away on foot. Our plan for the first half of the day was to visit the Dubai Dolphinarium and the Children's City, both of which are located inside Creek Park. After paying the 5 dirham entry fee, we made our way inside. Since our dolphin and seal show didn't start until 11 am, we took advantage of the quiet morning in the park and sat down just soaking in the views. The show is actually quite fun, as long as you haven't seen something similar before, which thankfully we hadn't.
Amongst all the rings in the water,
After the show, we headed to Children's City, which cost 15 dirhams for adults and 10 dirhams for kids, and honestly, completely worth it. We hadn't pre-booked this attraction since we weren't sure we'd find the time, but everything else aside, just the 20-minute planetarium show alone makes this place worth a visit.
Just right for living beings to thrive. It is today. Even home temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. It must have been wrong.
After that, we exited the park, lucked out and caught a bus back to the metro station, rode the metro to Burj, grabbed lunch at Gwalior, which also happens to have a branch close to our home in Bengaluru, and then headed back to the hotel for a well-deserved afternoon siesta. We had planned this trip in a way that if our mornings were chock-a-block, we kept our evenings lighter, so that we could actually slow down and unwind. So that evening, we took a cab to Dubai City Walk, an open-air shopping and dining destination. But let's be honest, we were there just for the walk. Unless you're in the mood to splurge on expensive brands or eat at fancy restaurants, this one's very skippable. After a short stroll and zero shopping later, we decided to take the metro back to the hotel. The nearest metro station is Dubai Mall, which is about 1.5 kilometers away. And since we weren't feeling particularly adventurous food-wise, we ordered dinner at the hotel and called it a night.
This train is Center Point. The next station is World Trade Center.
Day 3 began on a not-so-great note. Ayaan woke up with a mild fever, and we did consider cancelling our plans for the day, but since the tickets were non-refundable, we decided to go ahead anyway. So yet again, we found ourselves back at Gwalior for a light breakfast, and then took a cab from there to the Museum of the Future. As you can see, Ayaan wasn't feeling very well on the way there, and we really were hoping he'd feel better soon. The Museum of the Future had been on our bucket list even back when we were living in Dubai, when it was still under construction. And the company that I was working for back then had played a very small part in shaping its curved interiors. The name Museum of the Future itself is kind of an oxymoron, because this is probably the only museum in the world that looks into the future rather than the past. This museum has 5 floors of immersive exhibits, each exploring a different idea of the future. Interestingly, our journey begins right at the top on the 5th floor and then moves down floor by floor. The 5th floor depicts the orbital space station Hope, which is set in the year 2071, and it imagines what life beyond Earth could look like and how space exploration might help humanity solve some of its biggest challenges. The 4th floor is called the Heal Institute, which presents a vision of Earth's future, which is focused on restoring ecosystems, biodiversity, and renewing life on the planet. The 3rd floor is called Al-Waha, which is the Arabic word for the oasis. This is where things slow down a bit encouraging us to disconnect from the noise and focus on the present moment. The second floor, rightly named Tomorrow Today, brings us back to the present. This is where they showcase technologies and ideas that are already shaping the world today.
I don't speak Bulgarian, but I can chat in English, Arabic, and several other languages.
And as you can see here, Ayaan is back to his usual self. No medication, no coddling, just a touch of human interaction. And finally, on the first floor is Future Heroes, which is a space designed for children under the age of 10. And is basically a play area plus a gift shop. It's supposed to be a reminder that the future doesn't just belong to them, it's being built by them. Overall, I'd say if you or your child is into tech or science, this place is definitely worth a visit. And after exiting the museum, we took a cab back to the hotel and ordered in some lunch. After a short afternoon nap, we headed out to Kite Beach. We took the red line from Burj station to On Passive, and from there it was just a short cab ride to the beach. Maybe it was because it was a weekday, but we certainly got lucky. The beach wasn't crowded at all. So we took a relaxed walk along the walkway, reminiscing about the earlier times we had been there, including when I was a kid, back when we still used to call it Jumeirah Beach. By this point, thankfully, Ayaan's fever had gone down completely, and taking some meds in the afternoon certainly helped. In fact, he was really excited about visiting the Dubai safari the next day. After spending a couple of hours there, we decided to head back. On the way back, we got down at ADCB station and had dinner at an Andhra restaurant called Amravati. And just as we finished dinner, it started raining heavily. So we decided to take a cab back to the hotel. And as we were getting back, we were blissfully unaware of what was unfolding across Dubai that night.
The visuals that you see on your screens are not from some tropical country. They are from Dubai, where heavy rains have turned streets into rivers. Dubai Crown Prince shared an incredible video of a lightning bolt striking the top of the world's tallest building, Burj Khalifa.
Roads that are normally dry year-round are now submerged, and daily routines have been disrupted across multiple emirates. To reduce public exposure during the storm, government offices in affected areas implemented remote work measures. Schools, outdoor venues, and public recreational areas were closed in multiple locations to prevent accidents caused by slippery surfaces and floodwaters.
We woke up that morning to realize that Dubai had been completely rained in and that unfortunately the safari park was closed for the day. Disappointing? Yes, but we didn't give up. We quickly got a refund for our tickets from Klook and decided to bring forward another day's schedule from our itinerary. Our first stop for the day was the Dubai Hindu Temple in Jebel Ali. We took the metro from Burjuman and got down at Ibn Battuta station. There was a whole comedy of errors on this ride, but I'll spare you the details. From Ibn Battuta, the temple was about 4 kilometers away, and thanks to the rain, there were fewer cabs, prices had surged, and we waited close to 45 minutes trying to find one. We were almost ready to give up and head back when we finally managed to get a cab. This temple was earlier located in Burj, Dubai, just behind the Shri Krishna temple, a place that I used to visit often as a kid. In 2022, that location was closed permanently and moved here to a much larger complex in Jebel Ali. While the old temple had just the Shiva and Krishna mandirs plus a Gurudwara, this new complex houses 16 deities with an entirely separate block for the Gurudwara. The temple is modern, spacious and calm, and after all the rain, delays and waiting around, the calm inside felt exactly like what we needed. Unfortunately, photography is not allowed inside. From there, we took the metro to the Mall of the Emirates station, which used to be our home base when we were living here a few years ago. We wanted to explore Al Barsha 1, the area we once called home, but first we stopped at Sarvana Bhavan for a proper lunch. After that, we decided to walk through the neighbourhood and even went up to our old building all the way to the 8th floor. Back then, we never noticed how rundown the building actually was. We were just happy living in that tiny studio apartment, and you can tell that from Smriti's reaction here. From there, we walked over to our old grocery store, the Lulu Hypermarket, and the moment we walked in through those doors, the nostalgia hit instantly. After that, we took the metro back to the hotel and caught up on some much needed rest. In the evening, we walked from the hotel to Al Seef, taking in the evening rush hour views along the way. Al Seef sits right on the waterfront, designed in a heritage style with affordable shopping, plenty of places to eat, and some really nice views. Honestly, this place surprised us. It looked far more beautiful than we had expected, and something about the vibe made us feel right at home. We skipped shopping that evening and decided to come back on our last day once we knew exactly what we needed to take back home. After a couple of hours there, we took a cab back to the hotel, ordered in some dinner, and turned in for the night. On day 5, we said goodbye to our hotel apartment in Burj Dubai and headed to our next destination, Abu Dhabi. We planned to spend a couple of days there and then return to Dubai for the final leg of our trip. We got the reference of a cab driver from a friend and ended up paying 300 dirhams for the 1.5 hour drive from Dubai to Abu Dhabi. With 2 large suitcases and Ayaan in tow, we really didn't want the hassle of traveling in the metro and on the interstate bus. In Abu Dhabi, we stayed at La Quinta by Wyndham. We chose this hotel instead of staying on Yas Island because of its proximity to central Abu Dhabi, including the area where Smriti's sister used to live until a few years ago. After dropping our bags at the hotel, we decided to head out for lunch to a nearby Kerala restaurant called Calicut Bluefin. Before we look inside, I just want to say that this was easily the best room we stayed in across all the 3 hotels on this trip. The room felt spacious, clean, and well lit. As soon as you walk in, you see a slab with a kettle and tea and coffee supplies with an empty minibar right below it. Next to that, there's a large wardrobe with the usual ironing board, iron hangers, and a safe. Right beside it, we had enough space to stow away our luggage without it getting in the way. The bathroom was the highlight though. It was big and spotless, and it had a proper shower, not like one of those bathtubs you can barely stand in, which honestly feels like a luxury in the UAE. The bathroom also comes with all the basic toiletries, a hairdryer, and yes, both a health faucet and a bidet, which was definitely nice. The room itself had a full-length mirror, a dressing table, a poof, a 50-inch TV, a work area, a couple of comfortable sofas, and a large, very comfortable double bed. The view outside was great as well. Right next to the hotel is the Al Wada Mall with plenty of shops and places to eat around. And that spot with the floodlights right there, that's the Al Nahyan football stadium, where Cristiano Ronaldo had played just a week before this. In the evening, we took a cab from the hotel to the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, which was about a 30-minute drive away. Honestly, we didn't know what to expect. But what we saw once we got there was beyond anything we had imagined. You don't enter the mosque directly. You first pass through a visitor center and plaza, which is almost a kilometer away. Then walk through an underground mall with many corridors, security checks, washrooms, and a series of walkways before finally reaching the main prayer hall. And the mosque itself is massive. It can accommodate over 40,000 people at a time, almost the size of a mid-sized cricket ground. The architecture is simply breathtaking, which is why most visitors come here for the photos. That said, the crowd management is excellent, so it never feels overwhelming. If I had to nitpick, I wish they spoke a little more about the local culture and the religion itself, and a little less about the architecture. That would have made the experience slightly more engaging for the visitors. While worshippers can proceed to offer their prayers, others move through the mosque in a sequence, taking in the sights along the way. After that, we headed back to the hotel, and then stepped out once more to look for the villa where Smriti's sister used to once live in. And when that search went nowhere, we decided to call it a night. On day 6, we had breakfast at the hotel, got ready and took a cab to Yas Island. We had bought a 2-attraction pass from Klook, which gave us access to any 2 of the 4 parks on Yas Island. For our first full day in Abu Dhabi, we headed straight to SeaWorld. We chose SeaWorld and Warner Brothers, and the pass also included free entry to the Louvre, which worked out perfectly for us. SeaWorld opened its doors to the public in May 2023 and houses over 150 species of marine animals spread out across multiple themed realms. We entered through the Abu Dhabi Ocean realm, which focuses on marine life from the Persian Gulf.
Oscar, Italy, huh? What do you like, pasta or pizza? Pizza! Oh. Pizza Planeta! Hey! On delivery, and a hat from Hamburg every day. Oscar and I need to travel them. Right, Oscar? Right. And the neck, okay. One more, Oscar. Whoop. Hey! Okay, it's my turn. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Oscar. Wow, Habibi, amazing. Oscar. Hey! Thank you. And now, Oscar, for the last demonstration.
From there, we moved into One Ocean, the central hub of the park, and the venue where most of the shows happen. This area also connects to the 5 major realms. We started with Rocky Point, home to sea lions and seals, and an amphitheater with a wonderful show.
Welcome to Sea Lion Cabin. Our presentation will begin soon.
Next, we enter the polar ocean realm, which includes both the Arctic and Antarctica regions. Honestly, it's hard to tell where one ends and where the other begins. Once you're inside, it's like a maze. But the only thing you need to know is that this is where you can see the penguins. Also, quick tip, carry a jacket. It's freezing cold inside. On our entire 11-day trip, this was the one day we forgot ours, and I ended up paying the price for it. Anyway, more on that later. We were genuinely excited to see the penguins because after visiting countless aquariums, this was our first time seeing them up close. From there, we headed to the tropical ocean realm. Here, you're greeted by beautiful pink flamingos and tropical birds. But we decided to skip the dolphin show since we already had our fair share of dolphin sightings on this trip. As we exited from there, we were right in time for the Winter Wonderland show happening in one ocean.
I sense that the magic is coming together.
After that, we visited the Endless Ocean realm, which is where you get to see the sharks, and has Instagram influencers queuing up to shoot content right in front of the massive aquarium. After a quick pit stop, we headed to the final realm, which was Micro Ocean. This is basically a children's play area with 4 different rides. Ayaan was either too short or not too keen, so we decided to skip the rides. Before leaving, we headed back to the Arctic area, hoping to see the Hypersphere 360-degree ride. Unfortunately, because of his height, Ayaan wasn't allowed in, and this was the one ride I was really looking forward to, despite being petrified of heights. I already felt a bit off inside the park, but by the time we left, I had developed a fever. So we cancelled our plans for the evening and decided to stay in. That evening, Smriti's cousin came to visit bearing sweets. We were really looking forward to our time at Warner Brothers the next day, so I popped some pills and went to bed, hoping to get better. On day 7, by some miracle, I felt much better. Not 100%, but good enough. We got up, got dressed, and had breakfast at the hotel, and took a cab back to Yas Island. We reached Warner Brothers at 10:45 in the morning, completely unaware that we were about to spend the next 9 hours there. Unlike the previous day, we were among the very few people who actually showed up wearing jackets. Clearly, we had not done our homework. Maybe it was because this was the first theme park we ever visited, but as soon as we stepped inside, everything seemed so magical. Watching characters from our childhood come alive here made us feel genuinely happy. Warner Brothers Abu Dhabi has 6 theme zones, and we started at Warner Brothers Plaza, kicking things off with the first show of the day featuring the Looney Tunes characters. From there, we walked into Superman City, the Metropolis. Our first ride was called Superman 360 Battle for Metropolis. It's a short but immersive movie experience inside a dome-style theatre where the action unfolds all around you in what's almost a full 360-degree view. Next up was Justice League War World Attacks. And right as we stepped in, we had a surprise celebrity sighting. Irfan Pathan, one of the best all-rounders Indian cricket has produced. We played it cool, avoided eye contact, and so did the only other Indian couple there. You could tell he appreciated that we didn't bother him and his family for selfies. The ride itself was pretty decent. You board a small vehicle and move through fast-paced 3D action scenes with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash battling the supervillain Mogul. It's immersive, it's loud, and it's pitch dark, which means filming inside was impossible. Then we headed to the Green Lantern Galactic Odyssey, a 4D flying theatre ride where your legs actually dangle in the air. Thankfully, I didn't know that going in, otherwise I'm not sure I would have gone on the ride at all. The wait time here is painfully long, unless you buy a flash pass, which costs almost as much as the ticket itself and works per person. That said, the ride was worth every minute of the wait. It's one of the most immersive experiences I've seen and will absolutely test your fear of heights. But again, filming inside, not happening. After that, we stopped for lunch, thinking full bellies would lead to better decisions. Well, they did not. From there, we headed into Gotham City, and what ensued was a comedy of errors. First, we skipped the Batman night flight ride because of the 40-minute wait, thinking we'd save time. Then we waited 30 to 40 minutes at the Joker Funhouse, but Ayaan and I chickened out at the last minute while Smriti went in alone. It's only when she came out we realized that the ride we feared was actually the Riddler Revolution, which was right next to this. Turns out the Joker Funhouse is just a series of mirror mazes and fun exhibits. So yes, that one's on us. After having wasted enough time, we skipped the Riddler and the Scarecrow Scare Raid rides as well. So basically we skipped every single ride in Gotham City. The only saving grace was a short Joker and Harley Quinn show and a meet and greet with them later. From there we headed into Cartoon Junction, which instantly felt warm and familiar. We started with the Mayhem ride, which is set inside the Acme R&D lab. You basically ride through some animated chaos, trying to tag as many packages as possible with a tag gun. It's light, family-friendly fun, and you get to see who scored the most points at the end. Smriti and Ayaan then hopped onto the Cartoon Junction carousel, which is basically a merry-go-round filled with Looney Tunes and Hanna-Barbera characters. It's simple, nostalgic, and fun for any age. We then accidentally skipped the Tom and Jerry Swiss cheese spin ride because we mistook a crowd waiting for photos outside as the queue for the ride. By the time we figured it out, it was too late, and we were really bummed that we missed this one. Instead, we headed to Scooby-Doo, the Museum of Mysteries, which had a much shorter wait. The ride feels like stepping straight into a Scooby-Doo episode with all the classic lines, including "If it weren't for you meddling kids" right at the end. After that, we grabbed photos with Elmer Fudd, Sylvester, and Tweety Bird, and then moved to the Acme factory. This area has a play zone and 3 rides. Smriti and Ayaan went on 2 together, and Ayaan bravely went on 1 all by himself. I tried squeezing into one of the cars with him, but my legs strongly disagreed. So I stuck to filming. Next, we walked into Dynamite Gulch, which has 3 Jetsons-themed rides. By now, it was almost 6 p.m. and the crowds had thinned out, which meant shorter wait times. Smriti and Ayaan started with the Jetsons Cosmic Orbiter, which is a gentle spin-heavy ride. Smriti then went on the Fast and Furious ride by herself, which is a proper roller coaster ride packed with adrenaline, while Ayaan and I took a break. We skipped the Marvin the Martian crater crashers since the bumper cars looked a bit too tight and not tempting enough. The final zone was Bedrock, with just one ride called the Bedrock River Adventure. This was the only water ride in the park where you float through the world of Flintstones on a gondola, and it's calm, scenic and relaxing until the splash at the very end, which can leave you completely drenched if you're not careful. Overall, this was the perfect way to end the day. After that, we made a quick dash through Metropolis hunting for the perfect Batman toy before the park actually closed at 8 p.m. In the rush, I forgot to film the one we finally picked. We got back to the hotel by 9 PM, leaving us no room for anything ambitious. So we went in search of Villa 119 again, this time with better directions. And we actually discovered it was less than 500 meters from where we were staying. On the way back, we walked through Al-Wada Mall, then headed back to the hotel, ordered dinner, and called it a night. On day 8, we had breakfast, checked out of the hotel, and left our bags in storage. After that, we took a cab to Saadiyat Island to visit the Louvre Abu Dhabi. Let's be honest, we are not art or museum enthusiasts. The only reason we came here was because we had grown up hearing about the Louvre in Paris, and visiting the one in Abu Dhabi seemed like the next best thing. Quick tip, avoid carrying bags or any other stuff with you, because they make you leave some of those things at the security gate, and then as you enter inside, they make you leave the bags in the cloakroom, which makes absolutely no sense. Why not just put the cloakroom before the security gate? The Louvre Abu Dhabi opened in 2017, almost 12 years after the Dubai government first proposed the idea to their French counterparts. Today, it is the largest art museum in the entire Arabian Peninsula and is the first of several major cultural attractions coming up on Saadiyat Island. Just a couple of weeks before our visit, the Zayed National Museum also opened up to the public on UAE's National Day, and the island will eventually house the Guggenheim Abu Dhabi as well as several other global museums. Inside, the museum showcases artworks and artifacts from different cultures and civilizations, and some exhibits stay there permanently while others rotate in from French museums. If you're a serious art lover, you will need at least 4 hours here. We moved through the museum in about 2 since we had to head back to Dubai that afternoon. After finishing the main exhibits, we stepped outside to check out some of the modern and contemporary installations. This place may not be for everyone, but art lovers will definitely enjoy it. After that, we headed back to the hotel, picked up our bags, and took another cab back to Dubai for the final leg of our trip. Since most of our remaining plans were around West Dubai, we chose to stay at Trip by Wyndham in Barsha Heights. For some reason, the hotel didn't give us a great vibe right from the moment we walked in. Nothing major, just a lot of little things. The room was one of them. The moment we entered, we could tell that it hadn't been deep cleaned. But to be fair, housekeeping did do a better job the next day after we had pointed it out. The property also didn't feel well maintained. We noticed dust and stains in several places. The safe didn't work, so we had to call guest services to fix it. But on the bright side, the room did offer ample storage. They provide one bottle of water which has treated tap water, and this you could refill and request. The room itself was small, but it came with a decent view of Dubai Internet City, and on a clear day we could even spot skydivers near Palm Jumeirah. That said, the issues did add up. Stained and frayed rugs, a jammed drawer, poor lighting, a heavily stained bed runner, charging points on only one side of the bed, and stained sheets. Unfortunately, not all of this shows up on camera. The bathroom was tiny and hot water took a couple of minutes to kick in. Overall, for a 4-star hotel, I'll just say that we expected much better upkeep. In the afternoon, we ordered in lunch, took a short nap, and in the evening headed out to Dubai Marina for our dinner Dhow cruise. We booked the cruise with Alexandra Dhow Cruise because it had great reviews online. We chose the lower deck even though it cost only about 15 dirhams less than the upper one. The only reason being we were worried about Ayaan's safety since the upper deck was open. But in hindsight, that might not have been an issue at all. The cruise felt refreshing. We sailed between Dubai Marina and Blue Waters Island and the views were lovely. That said, we didn't quite feel like we got our money's worth. Other operators probably offer a similar experience at a much lower price. The Tanura show was decent, the food not so much. There were limited options and surprisingly the vegetarian dishes outnumbered the non-veg ones. Drinks were available but they came at an extra cost. Imran from the staff team was really helpful, but a few things did stand out. They turned off the AC during the last 45 minutes, they didn't refill desserts once they ran out, and those little things added up. However, the clear highlight of the evening though for us was the free drone show over Blue Waters Island. After the cruise, we took a late night stroll around Dubai Marina, picked up some groceries from Choithrams, which is by the way more expensive than we remembered, and finally took a cab back to the hotel and called it a night. On day 9, after breakfast, we asked ourselves a very important question. What on earth do we do today? We thought long and hard and came up with nada. So we did what any Malu would do. We headed to Karama. That was such a bad idea, especially in the peak afternoon heat. After loitering around for a bit, we surrendered to hunger and landed up at Anjapur for lunch. From there, we headed back to the hotel for a much needed afternoon nap. In the evening, we had tickets booked for Global Village. Rush hour traffic though had other plans. We ended up reaching only by 8 p.m.
Take you up in boom boom bosh, boom boom. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Life could be a dream.
Since we had visited Global Village a few times before, we knew what to expect. What we didn't expect though was just how crowded it would be. It might have had something to do with the fact that it was Christmas Eve.
If I could take you up in boom boom bosh, boom boom, tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream.
The moment we walked in, Ayaan launched into his usual requests, so we bought him a Spider-Man balloon. He was very happy initially, right up until he handed it to his mother, who a few minutes later let it float away. By accident, of course. We had a bunch of things that we wanted to pick up for folks back home, but we couldn't find most of them. Large crowds sort of short circuits my brain, so we gave up and wandered around aimlessly. Then we grabbed some dinner and decided to just take in the sights.
If I could take you up in boom boom bosh, boom boom, tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart.
We stayed there past midnight hoping to catch some Christmas special shows. There were none. So we finally headed back and reached the hotel around 1:30 a.m. and called it a night. On day 10, we had booked our slot at 12 p.m. for Ain Dubai on Blue Waters Island. We took a cab and reached early, expecting to have to wait around for a bit, since the first ride of the day only began at noon. To our surprise, they let us in at 11:45. We immediately realized that if we had arrived just a few seconds later, we'd have gotten an entire pot to ourselves. The family right behind us did. But no complaints, we shared the pot with a lovely family and the ride began. The ride lasts for about 40 minutes and honestly it ends too soon. The views are stunning. You can spot Palm Jumeirah Beach and the high rises along Sheikh Zayed Road from up top. That said, if you have already done similar observation wheels or visited the Burj Khalifa or even the Burj Al Arab, this one's an easy skip. The novelty does wear off after you have seen Dubai from above a few times. After the ride, we walked around, took a few photos, and took a cab back to the hotel. In the evening, we headed to our final attraction of the trip, one we had somehow never visited before, the Miracle Garden. Our first impression wasn't great. It didn't feel like it was worth the money. Yes, the flowers are beautiful and the installations like the Smurfs are interesting, but beyond that, it felt like a regular park. That said, it probably looks far better during the day. Since we had pre-booked our passes, we didn't have the option to reschedule. Overall, it's a calm and pleasant way to spend an evening. But if you're short on time, this is one attraction you can easily skip. After a couple of hours, we headed back to the hotel, ordered dinner, and then took a short walk around the Barsha Heights area, knowing it was our last night there. On day 11, after breakfast, we checked out of the hotel, left our bags behind, and headed back to Al Seef to kill a few hours before our 9 p.m. flight. We picked up a few knickknacks for home, some handbags, perfumes, and keychains, and decided to buy some assorted chocolates from the duty free at the airport.
Take it. Oh my God, where's the cone? No, come here. Papa, take it. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, you know? Yes, take it. Oh my God, yes, please. Oh la la, here's ice cream. Take it. Oh la la. Oh, where's ice cream? Oh, okay. Oh, here. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Okay.
Thank you. After that, we said goodbye to Dubai and took the metro back to the hotel to pick up our bags and finally headed for the airport. And then it was time to say our goodbyes to Dubai. We didn't really want to leave, but we boarded the plane knowing we would be back soon. Because like I said right at the beginning of this video, Dubai is more than just another city for us. It has always felt like a home away from home. And you know what they say? You can never quite stay away from home for too long, can you?